Hello and welcome to the Week 9 track guide by Team Conti Sim Performance. This is the NASCAR NextGen car at the Richmond Raceway. I'm going to take you around for 30 laps and go over how the car transitions throughout the run and some things to look for as you're racing this coming week. So right off the bat, let's talk about tires. Tire wear is not extreme this week. Over 30 laps, you'll have about 10% or less of tire wear across all four tires, so it's definitely not like we see at other tracks. Think about your mile and a halfs, higher load tracks, definitely not wearing a ton, but the temperature and the heat in the tires, it does cause a good amount of fall off. But still, if you manage the front end of the run as always, you're going to really help that long run pace. So even though there isn't a ton of wear, you can still control that fall off a bit by just giving back a little bit of pace at the front of the run, like I'm doing right here. Richmond, it's a very easy track to overdrive entry, especially in the one. You've got this long, wide, sweeping entry, which is made even more difficult by the curve in the front stretch. Really easy to hang it out too wide and not get to the bottom. Easy to slip the rear tires as well as you use your max brake pressure. So the best thing I can tell you is to really focus on straight line braking. You can see I'm full throttle down the front stretch and already pulling it off the wall to straighten out my entry into turn one. I could probably generate a bit more momentum center off on new tires by hanging it out for longer, but that puts those rears at more risk of sliding under that initial max brake pressure. Shifting the fifth down the front stretch, down the fourth into one, and keeping it there throughout the rest of the lap. So pretty simple there. That shouldn't be affected by weather this week. If you hit the chip a little bit into three, that's okay. Wouldn't worry about that. The next-gen car at Richmond tends to be pretty neutral to tight entry to center. And then as the run goes on, the rear tires get hotter, you start to progressively lose some forward drive. As the rear tires get hotter, it sort of balances out the entirety of the car. So past 30, it should become a little bit more neutral, but this early in the run when the tires are still really cold, not completely up to pressure, front end is a bit lazy. So make sure you don't overdrive those entries like I just got done talking about at both ends of the track, not just one and two. Good amount of brake pressure into both ends. Turn three, the goal is to get down to that yellow line early, try to hook it. Same thing in one and two, if you can get the left sides on the yellow line or as close to it as possible. So a little bit of additional grip down there, and it seems to help pull the car through the center of the corner. As I go throughout the run, I'll start to experiment with some different lines because Richmond is a multi-move track, especially now with the dynamic track system. I'll go over that a bit, but really at the front end of your run, just keep it on the bottom. Quite a bit of wheel in the center. Unwind the wheel on exit. A couple good tugs to get it to the bottom, and then unwind on exit. Throttle on exit. Very easy to spin the rear tires off of two. There's a hump off of two that you'll have to navigate through. So by keeping the car down longer in one and two, it makes that rise up and over the hump a bit easier to deal with. So right here, I'm keeping it pinched to the bottom and then straightening out exit later. If you come up off that line too quickly and you make your approach to the wall too quickly, too early in the corner, that hump will really upset the rear tires and you will spin them and get loose. Completing 12 laps right there, about 2/10 of fall off from the hot lap. Back to earlier, not a whole lot of fall off here. About 7/10 over the course of 30, give or take. Feeling a little bit tight in the 3, so I'm going to take a little bit of brake bias out of it. Try to get those rear tires engaged a bit more, take some pressure out of the front. Immediately I can feel that better center roll right there. It was good. Broke traction right there next. You can see that it was a bit tight center, progressing into loose exit. Better lap right there. Start to play with the line a little bit too, so you can see how it swings the lap time, where you lose, where you gain. Also get those trackers set to last lap, as I should have done from the beginning of the run, so we can compare to the last lap we're doing versus the best lap. Wider entry there, cut down in the center, and a straight drive off. There we go. Conventional line this lap, and then we'll start to move it around. And enter a bit wider here. Really slow the center, more sustained brake. And then straight drive off. Look at the time you make up, but I didn't make up all of the time I lost on entry. So it was a net negative right there. But as the tires fall off, and we have to slow down our entry a bit more and have less grip to work with, that might be better. Out to the bottom, see lots of time gained on entry, gonna lose it on exit, and about even down the back. Good launch off of 4, back down to the bottom. A little wider exit right there, I was able to carry more throttle, that was good. Wider entry, straight drive off, good grip, lost a little bit in the center, but still a good 20. So back to the middle here on entry, slow down the center, get it cut back down. Didn't quite get it there and lost time. So it seems like right now the bottom on this clean track is definitely best. A little wider there in 3 and 4, but no time gain. Yeah, so we just want to keep it on the bottom. Wrap that bottom, slowly work throttle, and a good corner in the green. Good 3 and 4 good laps, so the bottom's the way to go. Start 25. Nice and disciplined on the bottom. Good drive off, good corner. Center roll 3 is starting to get better, as expected. Slower right there, but very in control, very tidy. long runs in a race. Don't need to give it everything we got every lap. Try to open up this entry a little bit of room here. Can we get it cut to the bottom? Yes, I can. Will I have grip? Yes, I will. Great corner there. And a good lap altogether. Try to go back to the bottom here. Good entry, good wrap. Put the power down. Got net neutral. Exit off of 4. Really easy to spin the tires off of 4 at this point in the run, so be careful for that. 2 laps to go here. Nice exit off of 2. Another good exit off of 4. Really good rear grip at this point in the run. Good tire management early. Last lap here. Just clip that yellow line a little bit, nice and tidy, hard throttle up off. In the green down the back. Sail it into 3. Good rotation. Watch the rear tire spin. And finish the 30 lap run at a 22.63. It was definitely a little bit slower at the beginning of that run, but it certainly paid off at the end. Some really good lap times from 25 through 30 right there. Richmond is really tricky, very driver induced as far as how the handling is going to evolve over the course of the run. Overdriving entry is going to build front tire heat, which will make you tight. Overdriving exit, so too much throttle and spinning the rear tires under acceleration will cause additional rear heat and make you loose. You really don't want to be tight, you don't want to be loose, you want to be as neutral as possible, maybe a little bit on the loose side so you've got good center roll. Make sure you play with your brake bias throughout the run like I did, as that can definitely help mitigate some of those handling characteristics that will build as the tires get hot and worn out. That brake bias, even though it's not a massive change, can be enough to get you to where you need to be. Overall though, that is a 30 lap run at Richmond. This is our week 9 track guide by Team Conti Sim Performance. Appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see you in week 10.